Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. Welcome to a brand new series of bringing back Brum. Obviously you can see it's Birmingham City, who have fallen on harder times. They have 4 managers in the last year, including the one we've replaced, Steve Cottrell. So let's take a look at Birmingham City after the intro. So first of all, let's take a look at what Birmingham City have won in the past. Not a lot is the answer. Most notable was their recent League Cup win over Arsenal. 2-1 they won in 2011. That is their last major trophy. For that, you have to go all the way back to when they won the First Division in 1995. Before that, you go back to the 50s. So winning things is not something that Birmingham City are accustomed to. We hope to change that. The first goal is to get out of the Championship, which in itself is going to be a challenge because it is a very competitive league. There are lots of former Premier League clubs in here to deal with. And this kind of tells the story. Obviously, Gary Rowett was unceremoniously dumped by Birmingham about a year ago, replaced by Gianfranco Zola, who was replaced by Harry Redknapp, who was replaced by Steve Cottrell. But Birmingham's decline has been a sharp one. So they were relegated from the Premier League in 2010-2011. They finished 4th the following year, but have gone backwards ever since. So they were nearly relegated last year, they were nearly relegated 3 years ago, and they were saved on the last day of the season by a Paul Caddis penalty. So they do represent a challenge. Their finances are okay. Let's take a look at the financial situation. So there is money in the bank, not a lot. £2.37 million, transfer budget of £1 million, wage budget of £362,000, which is fairly good. We are spending quite a lot under that already as well, about 10 grand underneath it. So yeah, positivity on the finance front. So the media predict us to finish 12th in the table, which ain't too bad. Halfway, we're going to be looking for a lot better than that. Playoffs, definitely at a bare minimum, is my hope. Fierce rivals with Aston Villa, of course, and Wolverhampton Wanderers, and surprisingly Stoke City. They're not that far away, but yeah, it's a bit of a puzzle, that one. The second city derby, obviously one of the biggest derbies in the UK, and one we're definitely going to have to win. So, as I've already said, we are 12th as a prediction from the journalists, the pundits, everybody like that. Middlesbrough are the favourites for the title, Aston Villa in 2nd, Norwich 3rd, Hull, and then Wolves, who are currently top of the Championship in real life. Sunderland are up there as well. There are a lot of big names in this league. Leeds, Sheffield Wednesday, Sheffield United are back in the Championship this year. Bolton, Burton Albion, lots and lots of clubs who are going to be looking for the same thing we are, promotion. Now, I thought I'd make it a little bit more difficult for myself. So I've downgraded what I usually would do. So I'm a Continental B licence. I have a half-star reputation, which hopefully will grow over time with Birmingham City as we go up the Championship, hopefully up into the Premier League and beyond. One thing I will ask for straight off the bat is a senior affiliate, because having one of those will be very beneficial. Hopefully it will be a big Premier League team that we can go and cherry pick some of their good youngsters from. But currently Solihull Moors are one of our affiliates, and UE Corolla are the other. Now taking a look at the players, or the potential players who are going to shine, hopefully. Mark Roberts is the first one to point out. One of Harry Redknapp's additions in this summer just gone, before he was sacked and replaced by Steve Cottrell. Bought him from Barnsley, and has very good physical stats. Mental ones are fairly good as well. Technical ones not so much, but then he is a centre half, so finishing, dribbling, crossing, corner taking are not going to be things that he's going to have to do. Heading is, and he's 16 with that, so that's brilliant. Long throw, which we may utilise. Certainly something to give us an option to change it up if we need to. So yeah, Mark Roberts, central defence. Let's move on to midfield, shall we? So we move into midfield and we find David Davis. Now David Davis has come through Birmingham's academy, so that's a good prospect. One of their own, and not a bad player. Mental attributes are very good. Physical ones, yeah, they're pretty good as well. Could do better in the technical department. Obviously, tackling as a central midfield player will be one of his key things. Determination's pretty good. Work rate at 17. I love a workhorse in the centre of the park. So yeah, another good prospect for the season ahead. We then switch out wide to Jags Mahoma. Now, I remember seeing Jags Mahoma as a young prospect at Tottenham. Very young at that time. Didn't make it with Spurs, but has done pretty well with Birmingham. His technical attributes are very good. Crossing, dribbling, finishing could be better. He's a 3-star player, and that's how he'll remain. Pace of 14, acceleration, so that's good. So he'll get in down the sides and get the ball in the box. Hopefully to this man. And hopefully Jags Mahoma will be trying to find Che Adams in the middle. Now, Mr. Adams has got previous with me. He nearly knocked Tottenham out of the Carling Cup a few years ago in real life. He had a sterling match. Christian Eriksen dug us out of a hole to send us to Wembley. So I'm delighted to have him. Finishing of 14, acceleration of 15, pace of 15, potential to be a 4-star player. If he plays his card right, he could still improve, as it says above. Technique of 14. His best position is probably out wide, but he can play as a striker and behind the striker. So yeah, a versatility player. Definitely one to watch, and I'm so glad to be working with him. And taking a look at what's coming through, we have Nicolai Brock Madsen, Danish under-21 international, quite a lot of times for Denmark. He's a striker, he's a target man, which may become useful. 6'3", I'm not surprised he's a target man. Jumping reach of 16, strength, balance. His mental stats are okay for someone of 24. Aggression, adaptation are very good. Heading of 14, work rate of 15, so he is good off the ball as well. Trying to get the ball back for us. He'll probably go into the first team squad, I would imagine, just to have a look at him during the pre-season tour. And someone coming through from the under-18s who may well go out on loan to try and get some first team opportunities with potentially Solihull Mules. We'll see how that goes. Is Ryan Burke. Now, for someone who's only 16 years old, he's probably got to go to school tomorrow, he is a very good player. There is potential there. He has the potential to be a 3.5-star player. Determination 16 stands out immediately. But there are some other good attributes. Passing, technique, vision, jumping reach, agility. So yeah, a prospect and someone who will definitely go out on loan to get some experience. And lastly, it is a trip to the medical centre where we'll find Lukas Jukovic. I'm glad I've said that right. That is a mouthful. He is going to be on the treatment table for 5 weeks to 2 months with a calf strain. That's painful. I had one of those. So he is not going to be around for the early weeks of the season. Hopefully there won't be too many that join him in the treatment room so we can keep the squad fresh and healthy. So pre-season looks like this. So we've got a few games to plough through before we get to Portman Road to take on Ipswich Town. That will be the first game that you will see. That will be episode 2 of this series. Looking ahead, obviously, where is Aston Villa? That's the key thing that everybody wants to know. There is Aston Villa at St Andrews, 28th of October. So we'll definitely have to be here for that one. Not a bad run to the end of the season. Aston Villa's second game with them is on the 10th of February. Pretty close to Valentine's Day. Not going to be much love lost, I'm sure. So there we go. An insight into Birmingham City. Hopefully we can return them to the promised land of the Premier League. After a few dodgy seasons, it's probably the least they're going to be hoping for. If you've enjoyed today's video, please leave a like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel and would like to do so, click the subscribe button down in the corner. That was episode 1 of Bringing Back Brum. I'll see you next time for Ipswich Town and episode 2. Hopefully a few signings to look at as well. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.